Hey there friends, it is me, HLModTech, and as you can see, I have got my Roller Coaster Tycoon project from yesterday with the dueling coasters open, and today I'm going to try and make a more special dueling coaster with one of the fancier ones that we have available to us. So my friends, let's get cracking! So at the moment you can see it is raining, so those umbrellas are being purchased. Let's just double check and make sure. Yes, I am making $3 per item because I raised that price to $5. Real quickly, I'm going to build the people some shops just so they can get food and things like that. When you hit build this, make sure it's aimed a way that works for your park. That works for mine, so I can drop that in. And then remember, you always have to open your rides or shops, and you can pick a different price if you want to. I'm going to just stay with that. But you want to make sure that your park is pleasing to everybody and has the things they need to enjoy their day. Make sure you green light it, and you're good to go. I'm going to scooch over into this area and I'm going to build a larger coaster. Let's check out our coaster options. I like to build with the one that has the booster, which is this one right here. When you hit build this, of course I'm doing custom design, and I need to start with station platforms, and I need to leave room for the station platforms to be side by side, yet still have the entrance and exits on the outside and be able to be reached. So let's start by turning this way, and I'm going to build way over here. If you right click drag, you can get your world to where you're able to see it. I'm going to right click and delete that tree, and I'm going to add 4 of those. Switch to special, and I want my booster, and I want to have them flying out of here, so I'm going to make it all the way up to 67. And I'm going to add 5 of those. Now, I actually counted this time because remember, if you're going to make a clone, you need to have things pretty much figured out. So right out of the booster, I'm going to have it go up, and then I'm going to have it go up even steeper. And we always have to hit add this. And then I'm going to turn. One last little steep. I'm going to add a chain to that. Oh, right there's where it would not have worked. So let's go back to construction mode and see what we can do to fix this. Bulldoze, 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 bulldoze. We'll bulldoze that one too. Alright, so I need to get rid of that steep hill and just make it a flat one for starting. I'm going to speed this up so you can see it happening faster, and I'm just going to narrate my choices. Right here I've got it so that it comes down the hill and it lines up, but I really need to delete the bottom of that hill first, which I'm going to delete it right now, and then I'm able to build back to it. I've got a little booster so that it gets moving again, and then finally I right click and delete the bottom of this piece so that I can connect that the way it needs to be for it to be a full loop. There we go, now it is finally connected. Let's give it another test and see what it does. Just barely makes it, but it does make it. Alright, so you can see that when we look at its stats, it's real close to a winning coaster. I'm going to try and build its twin, but I'm going to build it going inside the other one, which I think is going to look pretty cool. I'm going to close this window and let's start by building again. Remember, we use this steel coaster. Custom design. Got to rotate it once. And these have to be adjacent. So once again, pop, 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 pop. I am going to do the boosters again. I want them to be totally high speed. So there's my 67. Alright, so you can see the idea how I'm looping this inside. This one does fail, so I'm just showing you the build. You can see the little pieces I use, the loops, the vertical loops, making sure that I get it so it bends around so it comes back to where we have to start. Before we finally get to test it and see if it actually works or doesn't work. Give that ride a quick test. Make sure it functions as it's supposed to. And then we'll convert it so that it's a synchronized ride. Dang. Alright, so by double clicking that stop button, it canceled it out. And now it's time to go to crane mode. Let's delete a couple of these pieces. And I think the smartest way to fix this is to go flat and then add a booster so I can get a little bit of speed before I go around this corner. Once I get these trees out of the way with the right click, I can start lining it back up. And if I delete the pieces over here on the right, that just lets me see where I'm headed a little bit quicker. Adding these little corners where they have the dips give me a little chance at having speed, and then you just keep right clicking and aiming until you finally get it so that you can line it up like I did here. Getting the bottom set is a good idea, and you can see now I can slope down, and once I get to the ground level, that makes it super simple to actually get where you need to be and connect these up. This little bend is a neat trick, but it's really not the smartest way, so I'm just going to back up and get it level right from the get-go so that it's smoother on the people that are riding. We want something that's got a nice smooth ride so that the way there's a better chance they'll actually enjoy it. Alright, so with them constructed, let's get those green lights clicked and start building our paths. I'm going to set them both to $2, and once I've got those put together, the paths, remember we always snake them for the entrance. This one I'm going to have to do elevated, where you just click on the building and add each piece by clicking the button. And then finally I'm going to use that same trick over here after I delete the trees to do an elevated path off the current elevated path. And that way they can get to this side of the roller coaster as well. Unfortunately, my roller coaster number 4 is just ultra extreme, and we're going to have to go back in and fix that so that we can actually get people so they'll ride it. Right now, everybody that looks at it is just flat out terrified. Alright, so in construction mode, let's see if maybe this little bend is like snapping their necks and making it tough. So let's try a gentle curve and see if maybe that makes it so we can get people so they'll ride this again. Once again, when you're doing these kind of fixes, click near the end so you can delete the pieces that are in your way, and then get it all connected up and give it another test to see if people will actually ride it. Now the funny part is, when you look at the stats for this, it is more terrifying than it was, and it does show that I did have 2 customers, but they might have just been flat out crazy too, and I think the other way might have been a little bit safer and more fun. The first ride, if we look at it, its stats were high, and medium, so it is crushing it, and people are riding it. Let's see how much cash I'm making. 2,800 per hour, which is pretty sweet. I think I'm going to go back and change this one more time. I've proven that I can get it so that people ride it, but I need one that isn't ultra extreme so I can actually make some real money off this sweet dueling coaster. Modifying is as simple as closing your ride, going back to construction mode, right click on the piece you want to get rid of, and I'm going to go all the way to right there. I'm going to go through that loop, Once we got that slope, let's check for that vertical loop left, and bam, it fits just like you'd expect it to. And then I believe that if I just delete these back to here, I bet you this will solve everything. Let's go back to flat. I'll do a couple boost, just like I did on the other side. And let's just connect it up and see if that does it. And I'm going to just delete all of these so that I can connect with the new shape. Straight, 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 straight. And turn. One more straight. And turn. Let's test that quickly. Always test to make sure your ride is safe before you actually put people on it. That looks spiffy. So I'm going to green light that. And let's see what kind of stats it gets and if people actually ride it. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to hire some more people to work over here. I don't have anybody taking care of the paths on this side, which is a bad idea. What kind of stats do we got for Roller Coaster 4? It is still ultra extreme. I'm going to close it one more time, and I'm going to get rid of some of these boosters back here, because I think that might be the only thing that's stopping it. There's my stop. There's my construction. Right click, bulldoze, bulldoze. Forward, but I just want a straight. Pop, pop. Let's see if that does it. I don't recommend this, but I'm going to skip right to green light mode, and you can see that people are actually riding my coaster. And now we just need to wait for test results and see how this one's coming out. There is the first test with that new dual coaster. Love how synchronized that piece turned out. That is pretty slick. I find it really interesting that these can be so similar, yet have such different effects on the people. I really just can't get people to ride this one like the other. I'm going to make a couple more adjustments though quick. I'm going to close this one. Go back to construction mode. And let's see what happens if I delete that piece and just make it a straight one instead so they don't get extra speed there. And then down here I've got one extra piece as well. I'm going to bulldoze that and make it just a straight piece. Let's also go down to this corner and delete all these and see if just maybe if we bank this, it makes it smoother and more enjoyable for the people as they ride. I really want to do a test because once you get rid of that booster that was getting them up over. Yeah, see, that's what I was afraid of. So I'm going to re-put that booster back in there. But I'm not going to have it boost as much. So yes, booster. And I'll just boost it to 45. So it's just enough to get it over the hill, not enough to snap their necks. Love that they're side by side on the loops. So it's safe. I'm going to green light it. There's somebody riding it. Let's see what kind of stats we get. 2 people riding it. 3 people riding it. Holy mackerel. Right there, not only did I make it work, now it is safe, people are enjoying it, and I have got an epic coaster that's going to make a lot of money. Alright friends, make sure you remember to save your game. You don't ever want to lose that. Like I told you earlier, I always put mine in the documents folder, and I give it a new name every day, so that way I can always go back to where I was beforehand. Alrighty friends, so the moral of the story there is try again. You can see I finally got 2 coasters that were above 5 for both excitement and intensity, and the nausea ratings below 5. So that is pretty wicked cool. Learned that 45 miles an hour was the max, it seems, for this coaster before people started thinking it wasn't cool. But that's what this whole thing is about. Experiment, test, don't quit. If you get frustrated, save your file, come back another day. I kept going today. There were several times I thought, I'm out, this is getting frustrating, but there's no cooler feeling than when you finally build one that people are digging. Friends, if you found this useful, please hit that like button. If you got a question, comment, or a suggestion, add it down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button. And last but not least, hit the notification bell if you want to be the first to know when there's a brand new video from me, HLModTech. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.